All-pro running back Jonathan Taylor's on the trade block. The Indianapolis Colts are looking to deal the fourth-year running back. Reports are indicating that they are looking for a first-round pick or a series of picks that would equal up to the value of a first-rounder. So should the Dallas Cowboys be interested? There was some chatter online earlier this week that maybe this would be the type of player that would put the Cowboys over the top. This is not a guy that I think the Cowboys would be interested in at all for a few different reasons. First off, Tony Pollard. This is a guy that they gave the franchise tag to. That is a $10 million value. That tender is signed. He is locked in. He is committed for this year. That's a lot of resources to commit to the running back position. You would have to trade for Jonathan Taylor. You would also then have to pay him his new contract in addition to what they're already paying Tony Pollard. This is the whole reason they moved away from Ezekiel Elliott's contract. Why they decided to walk away is because they wanted to get better value out of the running back position. They didn't want to push so many resources to that group, to a position that honestly they feel is a little bit devalued. The other reason is they really like some of the younger, cheap talent that they have behind Tony Pollard right now. Rico Dowdle is a guy who's been hurt the first several years of his career here in Dallas, but he's somebody who can contribute on special teams in the kick return game. He's somebody who they like a lot running the ball, his pass catching ability out of the backfield, and he is probably the best running back they have in terms of blitz pickup. And that's a very critical aspect for the Cowboys when they look at the running back position. So that right there is something they really like about Rico Dowdle. Deuce Vaughn, the sixth-round pick, the running back out of Kansas State, kind of taking the NFL by storm in these preseason games. They really like what he brings to the table. The only question about Deuce Vaughn is obviously the size. Being 5'5", he is one of one. There's not any data really that shows what Deuce Vaughn's frame, how it holds up in the NFL over an entire career, because we've never seen it before. He is a completely original football player. And so because of that, you're just not sure about how his physical frame can hold up. But the actual ability, the shiftiness, the ability to catch the football, the elusiveness, the agility, these are all positive traits of his, plus traits that have been on display this training camp. And then there's Malik Davis. You can't completely forget about Malik Davis either, the second-year running back out of Florida, a guy that is pretty well-rounded, doesn't do anything really, really well. He doesn't have like a defining trait the way a guy like, Deuce Vaughn does with some of his elusiveness, but he's well-rounded, jack of all trades, master of none type of running back. And that's a guy that the Cowboys like a lot. They've, I think, wished for a little bit more maturity out of Malik Davis, but he is still a young player. He's still coming into his own, still learning how to be a pro, but somebody that the Cowboys really like. Now, like I mentioned earlier, when pass protection situations have come up in these first couple preseason games, Malik Davis comes off the field, Rico Dowdle goes in. They clearly have a preference for the type of running back they like in there in pass protection situations, and it's Rico Dowdle. But all four running backs, guys that I think the Cowboys believe can contribute in some form or fashion: Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, and Malik Davis. So given what they're getting out of that position and the cost that they're having to invest, that they're having to sink into the value they're getting back, I can't see them giving up draft capital and cash for Jonathan Taylor. So while it's something that's fun for some of these national talk shows to talk about, the reality is that Jonathan Taylor doesn't make a whole lot of sense here in Dallas.